All right, Rob, let's get into it. We're going to stick with basketball. And we brought it up with Antonio Daniels. But, Rob, do we have sound of this? Okay, we got a little sound of the Anthony Davis situation where he said he hadn't touched the ball since April 5th. Here he is.
I haven't shot a basketball, maybe April 5th.
Where you actually shot a basketball?
Probably April 5th.
Where are you at, Rob? This is really a lot of hand-wringing on people's parts and criticizing AD. And obviously they're looking at it like, hey, you guys the Lakers missed the playoffs, missed the play-in this year. And you haven't touched the ball in months. Like, what's going on? That's the line of thinking. But where are you at on this?
Yeah, I think it's just the optics and how it sounds more than anything.
I agree.
That's all. It's just like AD, you missed most of the season. You know, the Lakers didn't even make the postseason, and it's great that you're on vacation and you're relaxing. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it comes across to people. That's why they have an issue. If he would have just said, man, I'm doing my normal stuff, my normal routine, Chris, and he didn't even have to mention whether or not he touched the ball, right? I'm doing my normal routine, getting ready for the season. I'll be good to go and this year, and hopefully I can stay healthy and play a great year. Then there's no story, there's no conversation. But it just sounded weird. Oh, I ain't touched no ball. What? Dude, maybe you should. Or maybe you should be out there practicing and getting some shots down. And like you said, so I think it's bigger to do about nothing, Chris. But sometimes it's not always the reality of something. It's just the way it sounds or comes off. And I think it came off badly.
I think that's a great point. Because you're right. When you look at his injury history, when you look at the Lakers' struggles, when you look at him, Rob, we've talked about the last few years since the championship, we thought he was going to take off. Heck, we're talking about all these other guys, Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, Giannis.
He's not old.
He's not in that conversation right
Chris,
now.
Don't you remember
Joel Embiid?
After that year, after they won in the bubble and he played great and they won the title, we were like, now he's got that in his back pocket. He could just go for MVPs and he could just play and be the main man on the Lakers and play free. And no matter what happens, you got your championship. Nobody could ever say you'd ever won or you weren't a winner. Yep. Dude, it's been the exact opposite.
No, that's true. And when people look at that, Rob, that's why it looks so bad. And you're right. It's not necessarily, and we'll get into it, not necessarily bad, but it does sound bad when you say it because it's like, dude, do you even care? Yeah, he cares, but it don't sound good. I'll be honest with that. But here's the thing. His normal, according to him, Rob, here's his normal routine in offseason. He takes a month off and said he gives his body a month to heal. Now, most seasons, he's already had a few months to heal, right? But during the season. But he takes a month off for his body to heal. That was a joke. All right.
Okay.
Then he does 6 weeks straight of weight training every day. So apparently, I assume he's in that 6 weeks right now. Without doing the math, he's probably in that right now. And he said he doesn't start basketball activities until at least a month and a half before training camp because it comes back easy. I'm fine with it, Rob. We talked to Antonio Daniels. I think Latrell Sprewell, when I cover him with the Knicks, I think he did something similar where he didn't touch a ball, until like a month or so before the season. I get it. Antonio said it. Like, you got to get away mentally and physically. You're still going to know how to shoot a basketball. So I get all that. And I agree with you. Mostly it's just the optics of it. But I will say, before I go to this point, it is most important for him. And I don't know if the weight training, if he's doing road work or running or whatever it is to his body, hopefully his trainer or whoever's working him out is doing whatever it takes, like the best possible thing you can do for his body to keep him healthy. And I know there are freak injuries that can happen to anybody, Rob. but he has the little nagging ones. You know what I mean? It's always a little something here, a little something there. He's got to be on a program. Like, that's his number one priority to me. So I would like to see, if this is it, then I'm fine with it. But Rob, I don't know. I could play devil's advocate and be like, yo, dude, it ain't working.
Right. It hasn't
Maybe you
worked.
need a new
It hasn't worked for
routine.
you. Right. It really hasn't. And that's just keeping it honest. Nothing else, not being mean-spirited or
Right.
anything. It's just those are facts, Chris. It really hasn't worked, you know?
Right. And so, I don't know. I would really, if I was AD, I would be looking for a new routine. And maybe it would include a month without basketball. I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, whatever, he's got to do something to get his body stronger. It's just as simple as that. And I'll say this too, Rob. And like I said, you don't forget how to shoot a basketball.
No.
I will throw this out there, though.
It's just repetition, Chris. Like,
Well,
right.
there you go. Repetition. And
It's repetition.
Should he be shooting more? I mean, look, years ago, Rob, decades ago, Anthony Davis would have played exclusively around the rim.
Yep.
And he wouldn't have had to shoot a lot of jumpers, certainly not long-range jumpers. But now the jump shot, the three-point shot is big. And I know his attempts have declined. But if he could add that to his game, he's got a nice looking stroke. Looks like his form is okay. To your point, with repetition, and I'm not saying it definitively because I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Right. We're not the
your
shot
game,
doctor.
Right.
Right.
Right. But his game is not finished, Rob. Right? Like, he's got areas he can improve. It sounds to me like his regime or his workout routine is kind of like, I don't need to necessarily add this or that skill. I need to get my body right. And then a month from now, get back to used to, shooting the ball, handling the ball, that. I would say, well, AD, you kind of do. You're a 30% three-point shooter for your career. You could improve your three-point shot. You could improve your mid-range shot. So there's a part of me that's like, get in there and just get some J's up. It wouldn't hurt, I wouldn't think.
No, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, and I'm with you. That the way the game has evolved and changed, I don't think it would be a bad thing.
Right.
And getting shots up isn't like playing basketball or, we're not saying are you playing
Right,
or
absolutely.
running full court or whatever.
Yep.
You could have somebody in who can just help you, right? Just help you with.
That's a great point.
Just
because
right, just shooting.
Right.
Like, shooting.
How would shooting hurt you?
No, shooting is not playing. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's totally different.
Yep. No, that's a great point. I would like to see him. I mean, again, I don't want to be too critical, Rob, because obviously some of the greatest players ever have followed a similar routine.
Right.
I'm just saying AD's got stuff he can work on, stuff he can get better at, stuff he can add to his game. And he's declined, Rob. Let's face it, since the bubble. He's declined. And that's why, to your point, I think that's the best point. That's the one definitive point we're making is the optics.
It just sounds bad.
It just sounds bad.
It does. It sounds bad. Like, and I don't want to. I don't want to say he doesn't care. Like, it's just like,
it comes off like that,
almost like he was bragging. I haven't touched the ball since April.
Right.
What?
Right. Like, I'm good. It comes back, dude.
Right. I haven't touched the ball since
but,
April. Like,
right. You're not Giannis. You're not the best player in the league, and you could be.